And in New York City, the jury is hearing testimony from a forensic and clinical psychologist, Dr. Hughes, in the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial in federal court. And we have with us our eyes and ears inside of that courtroom, standing outside of the courthouse right now. Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft is here. Kelly, I understand you've been inside of this courtroom. You've been able to see Sean Diddy Combs, but tell us about what the latest is there inside.
Well, hi there, Julia and Ted. Yes, so they just broke for lunch. Cross-examination of Dr. Hughes just got underway about 15 minutes ago, so now the lunch break, then we'll come back. That cross-examination will resume. So when the direct examination was taking place, it was interesting to watch Sean Combs because at certain points he was writing something down on a little sticky note and then giving it, placing it in front of his table, and it's a little bit loud actually when he does it. So there must be some sort of realization that, okay, Sean has placed a sticky note here. He kind of like hits the table in front of him, and then the counsel in front of him turns around, grabs that sticky note. Behind him, the second row, some of his children are sitting there, and this morning they arrived about an hour into proceedings. They have reserved seating for them, and after they arrived, Sean must have known maybe what time they were coming. Sean had turned around, did a few head nods to one of his sons, and then one of his sons did the exact same thing back as they were looking at one another. So, talking about some of this testimony that took place this morning, I know we have some video of those red high-heeled platforms that were shown to the jury right away as court proceedings began. So these are items that were seized from Sean Diddy Combs' master bedroom from his home in Miami, Florida. Also, you're taking a look at some other items that were seized as well. So yes, several platform high heels, boxes of those. Also, some adult toys were seized, as well as bins of baby oil, as well as Astroglide. At one point, the witness, this is when Special Agent Gannon was on the stand, he was holding big plastic bags filled with several bottles of baby oil, and then another separate bag filled with several bottles of the Astroglide. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the testimony for the forensic psychologist who's on the stand. She is talking about domestic violence and situations that come about, how someone becomes a victim. It's important to note she is not referring to anything that Cassie Ventura has talked about. She did not analyze Cassie. She's just talking and speaking in generalities. Her testimony is very limited. So she testified that trauma bond, this was talking about the trauma bond, can make a victim unwilling to leave a relationship. She explained why it sometimes takes multiple attempts for victims to leave abusive relationships. She said, as the abuser becomes more severe, or as the abuse becomes more severe, so do the coping mechanisms. Victims often are numb themselves. They numb themselves with drugs and alcohol. While the direct examination was taking place, Julia and Ted, there were several objections from Sean Diddy Combs' defense counsel. Jurors, you could tell, were getting confused because she would ask a question, there would be an objection. There were so many objections back and forth that jurors were just kind of, in a way, just staring at defense counsel, wondering, well, why can't we hear the answer to this question? So definitely they were confused as to why there was not information being provided that clearly they were wanting to hear. So after this lunch break, we'll go back, more of that cross-examination. One of the big things defense counsel is getting across is when you analyze someone, you meet them, you see them, you pick up on details. He's going to be getting to the point that he never looked at Cassie Ventura. She never looked at Cassie Ventura.
Kelly Craft, thank you so much for taking us inside of that courtroom. I know we have to let you go, but that witness, it's an important one. I even remember Dr. Barbara Ziv in the Harvey Weinstein trial having to explain to jurors what rape culture is like, and here this witness is talking about domestic violence and what trauma is like for the jury. So thank you for all of those details.